In the depths of the night, when your eyes close and the outer world fades away, an invisible stage opens, the secret workshop of the subconscious. There, in the silence of your dreams, the blueprints of your destiny are forged, the answers to your deepest questions are carved, and the sparks of your creative power are ignited. This text, inspired by the teachings of Joseph Murphy, invites you to cross the threshold into that hidden realm where your thoughts turn into images and your images into realities. You will discover that dreams are not mere nighttime fantasies, but encrypted messages, master keys, and shaping forces that, once understood, can transform your life in ways as profound as they are unexpected. Prepare yourself for an epic journey into the depths of your own mind, where every dream is a canvas, every symbol a tool, and every night an opportunity to rule your destiny from the workshop of the subconscious. The Subconscious Workshop, using sleep as your secret power. Each night, as you close your eyes and surrender your body to rest, you step into the threshold of the greatest source of power and wisdom that exists, your subconscious mind. This book is born with a single purpose: to teach you how to use sleep as the silent workshop where you can solve problems, receive guidance, heal emotions, create opportunities, and renew your life in perfect order under grace and with precision. Sleep is not just physical rest, it is the invisible laboratory where the images, ideas, and decrees you plant before bed become tomorrow's reality. Most people live unaware of this inner treasure. They seek solutions in the external world, chase advice, fill themselves with worries, and unknowingly carry their problems to bed night after night. But you can learn to change this habit. You can transform the night into your greatest ally. How? By giving your subconscious the fulfilled image, the confident prayer, the sincere question, and then allowing your inner power to work silently, without resistance, without anxiety, through expected or unexpected paths. Experience proves this every day. I recall the case of a man distressed by his financial situation. He had tried everything without success and went to bed with a heavy heart. One day, he understood the mental law and decided to try a simple method. Before sleeping, he prayed for guidance and solution, affirming with faith, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." That night, he dreamed of receiving an unexpected check. Upon waking, he felt an unknown peace. A few days later, a job opportunity he hadn't considered before appeared, resolving his situation. It was not the dream itself, but the faith in the process and the surrender to inner power that produced the result. This is how the law works. What you plant before sleep, you harvest in daily life. The dream journal is an essential tool on this journey. It is not about writing long pages or anxiously analyzing symbols. Simply note upon waking the dominant impression, a word, an image, an emotion. This simple act anchors in your conscious mind the work done during the night and strengthens your faith in the subconscious. Consistency builds the habit, and over time you will notice how inner guidance becomes clearer, solutions appear faster, and peace deepens. I invite you to begin this journey right now. Tonight, before sleeping, take a pause. Offer a simple and powerful prayer. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace and with precision. Visualize the desired good, give thanks as if it has already been fulfilled, and release the matter with confidence. Rest in the assurance that the silent workshop of your subconscious is already working for you. Make every night your inner treasure, and watch how life responds through expected or unexpected paths. This is how it is, and how it will be. Dreams, the Subconscious Workshop, based on the teachings of Joseph Murphy. We have noticed that more than 80% of visitors to our channel are not subscribed. You can support this project by pressing the subscribe button and liking the video. Thank you for inspiring us to continue creating more and better content for you. Are you ready to transform your life? Chapter 1: The Science and Spirit of Sleep. When night falls and your body rests, divine order works silently within your mind. It is at this moment, away from the clamor of the day, that the conscious mind gives way to the subconscious. The deep mind, free from distractions, acts according to universal law, accepts what is impressed upon it, and develops it without noise, debate, or delay. Sleep is more than mere physical rest. It is the daily opportunity to put your inner power to work, the power that transforms your life. As you close your eyes and surrender to sleep, do so with a constructive attitude. Do not take worries or resentments to bed. Make the last impression before sleeping a decree of good. Declare, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace and with precision." This simple affirmation, repeated each night, has the power to plant in your deep mind the seed of order, solution, and harmony. The subconscious, obedient, accepts this directive and begins to work through expected or unexpected paths. Throughout history, sleep has always been the natural channel of inspiration and guidance. Scripture recounts how Joseph received instructions in dreams to protect the child Jesus. Daniel received revelations that changed the destiny of kings and nations, yet you do not need to be a biblical figure to access this source. Anyone who delivers a question, desire, or difficulty to the subconscious before sleeping reaps answers. The law is universal and makes no exceptions. I have known many men and women who, facing confusing or difficult situations, practiced the simple formula of prayer before sleep. One man, worried about his business, stopped reviewing his fears each night and began affirming, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." He did not seek symbols or complicated interpretations. Soon he began noticing opportunities and solutions that had previously gone unnoticed. The subconscious, upon receiving a clear and positive image, arranges the means and establishes divine order in everyday affairs. It is not necessary to remember dreams to benefit from guided sleep. The perfect answer manifests whether or not you recall nighttime images. If upon waking a feeling of peace, a new idea, or a calm impulse arises, recognize it as a sign that divine order is working in your life. If a word, image, or sensation stands out, jot it down briefly, but do not turn journaling into a rigid obligation. A few moments of attention are enough to acknowledge inner guidance. Some ask, "What if I have disturbing or unpleasant dreams?" Do not dwell on them or give them power. Understand that the subconscious sometimes releases accumulated tensions and emotions during sleep as part of the restoration process. Upon waking, simply affirm, "I affirm divine peace and harmony. Good manifests in my life." This restores control and the positive direction of your mind. Guided sleep is not about seeking hidden meanings or deciphering mysterious symbols. It is about planting a clear image, issuing a command of good and letting go of the result. The subconscious responds best to simplicity and consistency. Before sleeping, repeat softly or mentally your preferred decree. "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. I affirm divine peace and harmony. Good manifests in my life." Any of these formulas acts as a key that opens the door to guidance and solution. Do not insist on how or when it will manifest. The perfect answer always comes by expected or unexpected paths. This is the law, and those who apply it with faith and perseverance see results in their experience. Remember, sleep is the workshop of the subconscious, but do not focus on interpreting symbols each morning. The essential point is your inner state upon waking. Feel peace, clarity, and renewed energy. This is the fruit of a mind well directed before sleep. If any response, no matter how simple, reaches your consciousness, be grateful and continue your day. The deep mind keeps working throughout the day, bringing ideas, encounters, and opportunities needed for your good. Do not bring past burdens or rigid expectations to bed. Each night is a new chance to entrust your affairs to the invisible power that resolves everything. Decree good, plant the fulfilled image, and trust the silent process of the subconscious mind. I have seen people practicing this simple discipline experience improved health, harmony in relationships, unexpected solutions in work, and above all, a profound peace that does not depend on external circumstances. A simple testimony illustrates this. A woman burdened by fear of illness began practicing the bedtime decree. She affirmed with faith, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect image of health. Divine order manifests in my body and life under grace and with precision." Within a few weeks, she noticed her thoughts and emotions aligning, and her body responded with renewed vitality. She did not need to interpret dreams or seek extraordinary signs. Divine order works silently, and the perfect answer manifests. This method requires no excessive effort, only consistency and trust. The key lies in what you impress upon the deep mind just before sleeping. Do not debate with your problems. Do not review your limitations. Declare good and release it. The subconscious, like an obedient servant, accepts the command and fulfills it faithfully. Just as the farmer sows the seed and trusts in the law of growth, you too can rest knowing that your subconscious is already working. Guided sleep is, above all, an act of surrender and faith. The deep mind does not need your instructions about details. It only requires a defined image and a feeling of certainty. Imagine the result as already achieved. If you seek a solution to a conflict, visualize the agreement, harmony and understanding, and decree, "I affirm divine peace and harmony. Good manifests in my life." If you desire prosperity, imagine your needs fulfilled and repeat, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Upon waking, remain calm for a few moments. Observe if an idea, a word, or a sensation persists. If so, receive it with gratitude and continue your day. Do not turn the practice into an obligation. Make it a simple, natural habit. Those who persevere in this method find that the subconscious responds with order, clarity, and concrete solutions through expected or unexpected paths. This is how mental law operates during sleep. You plant the command before sleeping, the subconscious accepts it and develops it, and the result appears in your life. Do not fear or doubt. The perfect answer always manifests because divine order never fails. Make this practice your nightly habit. Each night as you go to bed, entrust your case to the inner power. Use one of the decrees taught and rest with confidence. Divine order works silently, and the perfect answer manifests by expected or unexpected paths. This is how it is and how it will be. Chapter 2. Preparing the workshop, the art of asking. Before sleep, the night becomes a sacred moment to plant the seed of your desires in the subconscious mind. If you understand and practice the art of asking before bedtime, you will learn to receive guidance, solutions, and direction in a simple and natural way. The act of posing a question to the subconscious is not complicated and does not require elaborate techniques. On the contrary, the key lies in simplicity, clarity, and trust. Every day people ask, "How do I receive answers from my deep mind? How do I seek guidance for my daily problems?" The answer is straightforward. Formulate your questions simply before sleep and trust fully that your inner intelligence will respond. The subconscious does not recognize confused commands or anxious phrases. Remember, it accepts the impression exactly as it is given. Therefore, eliminate doubt, fear, and urgency. Use words that are simple and concise. Suppose you have an unresolved matter. Before sleeping, relax your body, quiet your mind, and gently direct your attention inward. Pose your question in positive terms, as if speaking to a loyal friend. "What is the best next step regarding this matter?" Or, "Which decision is right for my highest good?" Speak from the heart without forcing it, without demanding. Then allow inner silence. The subconscious listens best in quietness, without pressure. The attitude with which you present your question is as important as the question itself. Trust is the channel through which the answer flows. When you ask in fear or doubt, you close the door to your inner power. But if you ask in faith, the door opens, and the subconscious responds in perfect order. For this reason, each night as you go to bed, repeat, "I trust in the infinite wisdom of my subconscious mind. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." This mental attitude is the fertile soil in which the answer germinates. Those who practice this method consistently soon observe results. Some receive answers in clear dreams, others awaken with a new idea, a feeling of certainty, or encounter the right information or person during the day. The subconscious does not require complicated routes. Sometimes it responds directly, sometimes through unexpected paths. Let me show you a simple exercise proven by thousands of people over the years. Before sleeping, sit or lie down calmly. Formulate your question clearly and concretely. For example, "What should I do to resolve this situation at work?" Then affirm quietly or mentally, "My subconscious mind now accepts the question and reveals the perfect answer in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Afterward, release the matter and allow sleep to do its work. Do not try to force the memory of the answer. Feel peace knowing that deep intelligence is at work. Let me share the experience of a woman who came to me seeking guidance. She was troubled by a family conflict and did not know how to act. I instructed her to calmly formulate her question before sleep. "What is the best way to restore harmony in my family?" I added. "Trust the answer, declare. My subconscious mind now accepts the question and guides me in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." That night, she dreamed of a lit lamp on a table and an open letter beside it. Upon waking, she felt a strong impression. She needed to write a sincere letter to her sister. She did so. The letter brought reconciliation, understanding, and peace to the entire family. The answer came in the form of a symbol, but the inner certainty was unmistakable. Do not try to force the process. Ask your question, deliver the matter, and sleep with confidence. The subconscious responds through expected or unexpected paths when you stop resisting and open yourself to the good. Do not worry if the answer does not arrive that same night. Maintain the practice, repeat your prayer, and trust. The perfect answer manifests at the right moment because divine order never fails. Make this exercise a nightly habit. In this way, your bedroom becomes a workshop of solutions, and your subconscious mind your most faithful and effective collaborator. Ask with clarity, sleep in peace, and receive the good in your life. My subconscious mind now accepts the question and reveals the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This is how it is, and how it will be. Chapter 3: The Dream Journal, the Essential Tool. Each night, as you prepare for rest, remember that what truly matters is not what happens in your dreams, but the mental image you consciously imprint before sleep. The true spiritual law is fulfilled when you claim your power, and as you turn off the light, affirm softly or mentally, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Repeated nightly with faith and calmness, this formula becomes a seed that falls on fertile ground. Your deep, obedient mind receives the directive and works silently, beyond your conscious observation. This is how miracles unfold night after night, through expected or unexpected paths. Keeping a dream journal is not an end in itself. It is only an auxiliary tool for those who wish to take their practice one step further. The dream journal is useful because the conscious mind tends to forget quickly upon waking. The subconscious delivers its message when the mind is still receptive, in that brief threshold before daily concerns take over. Therefore, I recommend that upon waking, before getting out of bed, stay still for a few moments and ask yourself, what image or feeling dominates my memory? Do not seek immediate interpretations or explanations. Simply take a pen and write a line with the first impression that arises, an image, a feeling, a word, or a vague memory. Give thanks for the message, even if you do not understand it at the moment, and proceed with your day. This simple act strengthens your conviction that your subconscious mind is working for your good, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Over the years, I have observed that those who practice this simple act of recording, not to analyze or decode, but to acknowledge the activity of their deep mind, develop a greater sensitivity to perceive inner guidance in daily life. The real fruit of this practice is not the accumulation of symbols or the search for hidden meanings, but the strengthening of faith in your inner power and the certainty that the perfect answer always arrives through expected or unexpected paths. Remember, recording should never become a burdensome obligation or an anxious ritual. The power lies in what you plant before sleep. The journal is merely a support to make you aware of the subconscious at work. It does not matter if one day you forget to write or recall no dream. There is no loss or setback. The mental law continues to act. Simply renew your affirmation before sleep and rest in the certainty that everything is resolved for your highest good in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Your subconscious, in its wisdom, often responds not with complex symbols or cryptic messages, but with a feeling of peace, a serene impulse, or a simple clarity that accompanies you upon waking or throughout the day. Some seek complicated interpretations, but the greatest guidance is experienced as a calm certainty, an inner knowing that the path is clear and the solution is in progress. When you wake feeling relief, confidence, or simply a positive disposition, that is the clearest sign that your request has been received and is being processed within. Give thanks for that peace and continue forward. The subconscious fulfills its work through expected or unexpected paths. I have known people who, by keeping a brief morning record of their dreams, noticed over time that they did not always receive grand images or evident symbols. Instead, they observed a change in mood, a new attitude toward challenges, or a spontaneous impulse to take the correct action. One man shared that after weeks of jotting down a single line each morning, sometimes only a feeling of lightness or a memory of a color, he began making decisions at work with a confidence he had never known. There were no mysterious messages, only the simple evidence of a mind guided from within, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Recording reinforces the habit of listening to your inner self. Do not expect every dream to contain a literal instruction or a symbol to decipher. Rather, feel the certainty that, even when the external form varies, the deep intelligence is operating in your favor, communicating what you need in the best way for you. Guidance often appears as a sudden inclination, a recurring thought during the day, or an inexplicable serenity in situations that previously disturbed you. This is how the law works in silence, through expected or unexpected paths. Do not worry if some days your record is brief or non-existent. If upon waking the only thing you notice is a special calm, write it down. Today, I feel peace. That peace is often the answer to your nighttime prayer. Your subconscious, obeying the image you gave before sleep, delivers the sense that all is in order. That is the greatest sign that good is manifesting in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Do not turn recording into constant interpretation. The deep mind does not require your oversight. It only requires that you trust and affirm the desired result. If an image or word persists during the day, repeat it with gratitude and ask your subconscious to use it for your highest good. If you do not understand its meaning, release it and continue. The answer will manifest at the right moment, through expected or unexpected paths. I have seen cases where people, simply by writing a line upon waking, without forcing memory or seeking signs, began to perceive real changes in relationships, health, and work matters. Not because dreams are miraculous in themselves, but because this simple act strengthens faith in the mental law and the discipline of planting the correct image before sleep. The key is not interpretation, but impression. Each night before sleeping, affirm with calm and conviction. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This formula opens the door to the inner workshop and sets the solution in motion, even if you do not know how or when. The true guide is recognized by the peace it brings. If after a night of planting your affirmation, you awaken with confidence, joy, or relief, recognize that feeling as the sign that the answer is on its way. Give thanks. Continue your day and keep your mind open to ideas and opportunities that may arise. The subconscious arranges the means, creates circumstances, and opens doors always in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Do not let the practice of recording turn into anxiety for immediate results. Accept your mind's natural rhythm. Some days, you will have clear dreams. Other days, only a subtle feeling. Both are valid. Consistency is key. The success of this technique lies in your attitude of faith and gratitude. Plant the image before sleep. Record upon waking what you perceive. Give thanks and move forward. The law responds with precision because the subconscious never forgets an order received with faith. Over the years, I have advised thousands of people in this simple method. Some have transformed their entire lives merely by learning to plant the correct image before sleep and recording the signs their mind offered upon waking. The miracle comes not from interpretation, but from trust in the process and consistency in practice. Do not stray from this proven formula. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Repeated each night, this decree establishes an inner cause that will sooner or later manifest as solutions, peace, and prosperity in your experience through expected or unexpected paths. If you ever wonder whether you are practicing correctly, Remember, the sure sign is peace. If you feel unease, reaffirm your decree before sleep and release the matter. If the mind insists on replaying problems, gently redirect attention to the image of the solution already fulfilled. Imagine, even for a few seconds, the joy of having received the answer. Feel gratitude in advance. In this way, you give your subconscious the clearest and most powerful instruction. Leave the rest in its hands. Divine order works silently, and the perfect answer manifests in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Upon waking each morning, remain still for a few minutes. Record a line with the first impression you remember. Give thanks and continue your day with confidence. Make this habit a simple bridge between the invisible workshop of your subconscious mind and the visible reality of your daily affairs. Practice simply, repeat with faith, and watch how the law responds through expected or unexpected paths. This is how it is and how it will be. Chapter 4. The Symbolic Language of the Subconscious. The subconscious, like an ancient sage, does not communicate with complicated words or rational arguments. Its language is that of images, emotions, and impressions. This form of expression is neither arbitrary nor accidental. It is the natural method the deep mind uses to impress truth and guide your steps in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. During the day, your conscious mind dominates your attention with words, numbers, and logical concepts. But the subconscious, operating at a deeper level, always expresses itself through images and sensations. Just as a young child understands a story better with illustrations, your inner mind understands and responds better to images than to explanations. When you seek to guide your life, heal your body, or solve any difficulty, it is not enough to repeat empty words. It is the vivid, felt mental image that penetrates the subconscious and activates divine order in your experience. The subconscious speaks in symbols because this is how it captures the essence of life without limits of language, culture, or time. Symbols are universal. Water represents life, movement, cleansing. A house signifies shelter or inner state. A path indicates direction or choice. Animals reflect instinctive forces or latent talents, and so on. However, each person also has personal symbols built from memories, emotions, and experiences. For one, the sea may evoke calm. For another, fear. The important thing is to remember that the subconscious always chooses the most effective symbol to communicate with you at the right moment, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Do not become fixated on rigid dictionaries of meanings. The most important aspect is the dominant feeling the symbol produces in you. If you dream of clear water and feel relief, your subconscious is likely signaling a time of renewal and solution. If you dream of a bright house, it may indicate internal harmony or security. If a path appears, observe whether you traverse it with ease or difficulty. There lies the message. Animals often express instinctive energy, desires, fears, or talents ready to emerge. The subconscious uses the symbol that most effectively impresses your emotion and memory. Let me share the case of a man who repeatedly dreamed of a rushing river. At first, he paid little attention, but the image persisted. Initially, the river seemed dangerous and difficult to cross, causing fear. In later dreams, the river appeared calmer, until one day he saw himself crossing it with ease. Upon reflecting on his experience, he realized that his emotions in daily life had shifted. At work, he accepted a challenge he had long avoided. The river symbol, he understood, was simply the way his subconscious showed him that he could navigate change, and that all would resolve in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. After recognizing this, his restlessness vanished and a new stage of unexpected growth opened in his life. Do not obsess over details. If upon waking you recall an image, emotion, or word, give thanks and move on. If you feel peace, that is the clearest sign that the subconscious has received your impression and is developing it in perfect order, under grace and with precision. While some symbols are often universal, do not treat them as fixed rules. The subconscious is creative and may use the same image with different meanings for each person. What matters is the dominant emotion and inner impression. For reference and without rigidity, here are some common symbols and their typical associations in the experience of many dreamers. Water, cleansing, renewal, emotions in motion. House, your inner life, refuge, body or family. Path, direction, choice, stages of life. Door, opportunity, decision, new beginning. Animal, instinctive energy, fears or talents. Child, new ideas, innocence, undeveloped potential. Light, clarity, revelation, solution, understanding. Mountain, effort, challenge, spiritual ascent. Tree, growth, roots, life, stability. Fire, purification, passion, transformation. Window, openness, new vision, opportunity. Food, physical or spiritual nourishment. Money, value, resources, available energy. Stairs, progress, advancement, change of level. Storm, conflicts, tensions to release. Garden, inner growth, peace, fruits of mental work. Car, personal direction, control, progress on your path. Phone, communication, pending message. Mirror, self-image, need for introspection. Gift, recognition, merit, unexpected reward. Use these examples only as a general guide, not as fixed rules. Always remember, what matters most is how the image made you feel. The subconscious responds to your emotional and personal world, and the most important symbol is the one that signifies progress, relief, or the correct impulse for you, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. If ever you feel confused by a recurring symbol, do not worry or force its meaning. Affirm within yourself, "My subconscious mind shows me the perfect meaning. Everything becomes clear in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Trust that revelation will arrive, whether as sudden understanding, an impulse to act, or a deep sense of peace. This is how the mental law operates, always silently and effectively, through expected or unexpected paths. I emphasize once again, do not turn every image into a problem to solve. If upon waking you feel calm, certain, guided, or simply positively disposed, that is the highest response your subconscious can give. Give thanks, affirm your decree, and move forward. The symbol is only the channel. True guidance is recognized by peace, the correct impulse, and renewed confidence. Your subconscious, in its wisdom, will always communicate in the language you can understand, using images that best awaken your emotion and faith. Trust this process. If you plant the image of the fulfilled solution before sleep, your subconscious will develop it and provide signals, ideas, or actions in perfect order, under grace, and with precision through expected or unexpected paths. This is how it is and how it will be. Chapter 5. Interpreting with Prudence and Wisdom. The first law to remember when it comes to dreams is this: not every dream is a command. The subconscious mind is a vast repository where emotions, fears, desires, and daily memories are stored. Each night, in the silent workshop of sleep, these impressions take form as images, scenes, and stories. They do not always have a practical purpose. Often they are simply the natural way the mind releases tension or reorganizes information. Just as rain cleanses the air and prepares the soil, the subconscious uses sleep to refresh and restore your inner world in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. For this reason, the prudent student never allows themselves to be carried away by the anxiety of interpreting every dream as a literal message or urgent command. The mental law is clear. Dreams can be warnings, inspiration, or simply fantasies or echoes of daily experiences. Do not rush to change your life, make drastic decisions, or feel disturbed by what you see in a dream. True wisdom lies in learning to discern, to separate the wheat from the chaff, and recognize when guidance is authentic and when it is merely an emotional release from the subconscious. During the day, your conscious mind acts as a guardian, filtering thoughts and emotions. At night, when that guardian rests, the deep mind uses symbols, emotions, and stories to communicate or simply release what you no longer need to carry. Therefore, when you awaken from a dream that impresses you, do not immediately interpret it as a divine command. Pause, observe your emotional state, and ask calmly, does this dream leave me with peace or unease? Is it a genuine warning or merely a reflection of my day's fears? Prudence teaches you to distinguish between the clear voice of inner guidance and the fleeting murmur of fantasy. The dominant emotion remaining after a dream is the most reliable indicator. If a dream is an authentic message, it is usually accompanied by a feeling of clarity, relief, certainty, or calm warning. If, on the other hand, it leaves you confused, fearful, or anxious, it is likely just a reflection of accumulated tension. Do not let fear or obsession with deciphering symbols control your mood. The mental law operates in peace, and true guidance is recognized by the serenity it leaves within you, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. I always advise those who wish to interpret dreams not to obsess over hidden meanings. The subconscious is a faithful messenger, but also uses dreams to cleanse the mind of emotional residues. Just as the body naturally eliminates toxins, the mind releases in sleep unresolved thoughts, desires, and fears. Many dream images require no interpretation. They are simply residues that the subconscious transforms and dissolves without consequences for your life. Wisdom lies in not carrying what has already been released. Let the mind do its work, and trust that only what is essential will reach your waking consciousness. When a dream catches your attention, and you wonder whether it contains a warning or guidance, use the power of your conscious mind. Ask calmly, "What is this trying to tell me?" Do not respond immediately. Let the question rest within. Feel your emotional reaction. If the feeling is relief, clarity, or the correct impulse, you can be sure there is a useful message. If unease persists, repeat your peace affirmation. I affirm divine peace and harmony. The good manifests in my life in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Trust that the subconscious will filter any negative imagery and allow only the useful truth to remain. Let me share a real example. A businessman accustomed to seeking inner guidance considered a seemingly promising deal. He had prayed before sleep. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything unfolds in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. That night, he dreamed of walking down a dark street, suddenly blocked by a very tall wall. The image was so vivid upon waking that he decided to postpone signing the contract. A few days later, he discovered hidden details about the business that made it risky. His decision to wait saved him from a significant loss. He did not act solely based on the dream's force. He used prudence, calm, and the mental law to discern whether it was mere fantasy or a useful warning. He trusted the impression left by the dream and asked his conscious mind, "What is this trying to tell me?" He allowed the answer to arrive in perfect order, under grace, and with precision, and it did. Do not turn interpretation into a battlefield. The subconscious does not complicate things. When guidance is needed, it appears with clarity and peace. If it is mere fantasy, it vanishes with the light of day. Learn to leave space for truth to reveal itself without forcing it. The correct response often comes as confirmation, a serene feeling that persists throughout the day, or an idea that arises in moments of quiet, through expected or unexpected paths. You can practice a simple method to discern relevant dreams from mere releases. Upon waking from a striking dream, ask within, "Does this dream leave me with peace or anxiety?" If the predominant feeling is peace, remain attentive to the day's signals. If unease persists, affirm your decree of harmony and wait for confirmation. Ask yourself also, does this dream confirm something I already sensed in my conscious life, or is it entirely unrelated? Often the subconscious reinforces intuitions already present in your heart. If the image repeats in different dreams or appears at moments of decision, pay attention. It may be a useful warning. Finally, entrust everything to the mental law, saying, "If this dream is for my good, may divine order confirm it. My waking mind receives it in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Give thanks and release the matter. The subconscious will know how and when to confirm the message. Do not worry if interpretation is not immediate. The deep mind works without haste. Often the answer arrives after a few days as a clear idea, an external sign or a casual conversation that resolves your doubt. The subconscious arranges the means and organizes circumstances by expected or unexpected paths so that useful guidance becomes visible and applicable in your life. Trust in the process. It is the key that opens the door to inner wisdom. Remember, the impression you plant before sleep is more powerful than any image received in dreams. The proven formula never fails. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything unfolds in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This decree establishes within you an atmosphere of faith, protection, and order. What is not for your highest good dissolves without a trace. What is useful is reaffirmed, repeated, and becomes certainty. If upon waking you feel unease, renew your peace decree. I affirm divine peace and harmony. The good manifests in my life in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This restores your control, releases anxiety, and allows only good to remain. Correct interpretation never produces anguish or pressure. The subconscious is your ally, not your enemy. When guidance comes, you will recognize it by the tranquility it leaves and by clear direction for action. If in doubt, wait, repeat your affirmation, and observe. The mental law never errs. The good manifests in your life perfectly, by expected or unexpected paths. Do not fear unsettling dreams, nor turn interpretation into a burdensome duty. Learn to trust your inner wisdom. If upon waking you have clarity, act in peace. If confusion remains, entrust the situation to your subconscious and affirm that everything will become clear in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Give thanks for protection, warning, and restorative rest. The subconscious never leaves a question planted with faith and sincerity unanswered. Make this attitude a daily habit. Do not be carried away by superstition or fear. Use your conscious mind as a calm guide. Practice the method of questioning. What is this dream showing me? What do I want my subconscious to reveal now? Plant the question, wait for peace, and allow good to manifest. This is how the law works. This is how divine order unfolds in your life, in every aspect, every day, every night, under grace and with precision. This is how it is and how it will be. Chapter 6, Prayer and Suggestion. Before sleep, the night is the most powerful moment to plant in your subconscious mind the seed of what you wish to see manifested. What you think, imagine, and affirm before sleeping descends directly into the creative reservoir of your being, and there it is accepted without resistance. It is at this threshold, when the body relaxes and the outer world fades, that the subconscious opens and receives the command that determines the quality of your dreams and the course of your days. Do not approach nocturnal prayer with anxiety or haste. Faith is the essential atmosphere for the mental seed to flourish. The mental law is unwavering. What is impressed with conviction develops in silence, in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Therefore, as you lie down, release all worry. Let go of fear and focus your attention on the fulfilled image. Do not pray asking for the problem to disappear. Instead, affirm that the solution is already manifesting. Do not struggle to obtain an answer. Rest in the assurance that the perfect answer flows to you at the right moment, through expected or unexpected paths. Effective prayer is not a long speech or fearful plea. It is a simple, serene, and positive affirmation that penetrates the deep mind. Those who pray this way do not beg, they decree. They do not doubt, they trust. Here is an example of a nocturnal prayer to receive guidance. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything unfolds in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This formula is universal. It works for any situation and opens the doors to your inner power. I have seen men and women resolve seemingly impossible difficulties simply by repeating, before sleep, a simple prayer full of faith. A man worried about a workplace conflict used to spend hours reviewing his problems in bed. When he learned to pray correctly, he changed his routine. Before sleeping, he quietly repeated, "My subconscious mind guides me with wisdom. The perfect solution now manifests in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." Within a few days, he felt a serene impulse that led him to speak with the right person, and the problem was resolved with harmony and speed. The law of positive suggestion is as certain as the law of gravity. Whatever you suggest to your subconscious is accepted as truth. If you plant images of failure, difficulty, or lack, that is what you will experience. If, on the other hand, you affirm health, peace, abundance, and solution, the deep mind sets to work and manifests those realities. Your prayer is the seed. The subconscious is the fertile soil. Do not worry about how or when it will happen. Do your part. Suggest the good, affirm the solution, and give thanks in advance. You can make this a simple nightly practice. Relax your body, release all tension, and softly repeat, "My subconscious mind guides me with wisdom. Everything is resolved in perfect order, under grace, and with precision." If you wish, briefly visualize the fulfilled result. See your body healthy, your finances balanced, your home peaceful, your path clear. Imagine the joy of the answer received. Allow this image, imbued with faith and gratitude, to descend into the subconscious and rest. Do not cling to details. Release anxiety and trust the law. The subconscious always responds through expected or unexpected paths. If you want to focus your prayer on specific areas, use simple formulas adapted to your needs. For health, divine order restores my body. My subconscious accepts and manifests perfect health in perfect order, under grace and with precision. For finances, infinite abundance flows now into my life. Everything is arranged in my finances in perfect order, under grace and with precision. For relationships, peace and divine love now reign in my home. My subconscious resolves all differences in perfect order, under grace and with precision. Never pray with fear or from a sense of lack. Do not say, "I don't want to be sick. I cannot bear loneliness. I cannot pay my bills." Such affirmations are also recorded in the deep mind but attract the opposite result. The subconscious accepts what you give it without judgment. Always give it a positive image, a word of good, the vision of the outcome already achieved. And if one night worry insists, repeat your prayer calmly, release concern, and sleep in the confidence that the solution is advancing in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This is the law of the mind. What you affirm before sleep develops during the night. Prayer does not need arguments or details. It requires only simple faith and the fulfilled image. Remember, the subconscious responds better to the emotion of certainty and gratitude than to empty words. If upon waking you feel peace, that is the sign that your prayer has been received and is bearing fruit. Give thanks. Continue your day and remain open to impulses, ideas, and opportunities that may arise. The subconscious always works in silence, bringing the perfect answer in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. If at any moment doubt returns, go back to your canonical formula. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything unfolds in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. Repeat this decree as many times as needed until worry subsides and faith takes its place. It is not the mechanical repetition that produces the miracle, but the calm conviction that the mental law never fails. Do not fear if one night your faith seems small. The subconscious does not measure the strength of your emotion. It only requires your constancy and sincerity. If some night you cannot feel complete certainty, affirm anyway. Release the matter and rest. The simple act of suggesting the solution, of directing your attention to the image of good before sleep, sets invisible forces in motion that will lead you, through expected or unexpected paths, to the desired outcome. Make prayer and positive suggestion a simple, natural habit. Each night, entrust your matter to the deep intelligence, affirming good, peace, solution, and abundance. Give thanks in advance, and let the subconscious do its work in silence. The perfect answer manifests in perfect order, under grace, and with precision. This is how it is and how it will be. Chapter 7. Dreams of Healing and Problem Solving. The night's sleep is not only a refuge for the body, but also a channel where deep intelligence can work to bring healing and resolve difficulties that elude conscious effort. Every night, as you prepare to sleep, you have the privilege of handing over your burdens, fears, and problems to your subconscious mind. This inner mind, free from limitations, can show you the path to healing and solutions in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. To seek a solution to a problem before sleeping, no ritual or complication is necessary. Simply state your request clearly and trust completely in your inner wisdom. Before closing your eyes, focus on the matter that concerns you. Express it with clarity and without fear, as if presenting it to a loyal friend. Then declare, "I leave this burden in the hands of my subconscious mind. My deep mind guides me and resolves this in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." From that moment on, stop struggling. Release anxiety. Do not dwell on the problem or demand an immediate answer. Find silence within, sleep peacefully, and trust. Experience shows that many people have received true healing and solutions through this nighttime surrender. A woman, given up on by doctors, adopted the habit of praying before bed. The divine intelligence in my subconscious restores my body in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. She did not pray from despair, but surrendered to the image of health and rested in faith. Over time, her health gradually returned until full recovery. Later, when recalling her dreams, she remembered several occasions where she saw herself walking through a sunny garden free of pain. The dream image was the seed of her visible recovery. The subconscious knows no obstacles, limits, or impossibilities. Where reason stumbles, inner intelligence opens unexpected paths. Those who learn to hand over their problem before sleep are relieved of unnecessary burdens and often receive in dreams the image, phrase, or feeling that contains the solution. The secret is to let it go and not revisit it upon waking. If each night you calmly repeat, "I leave this matter in the hands of my subconscious mind," the perfect answer manifests now in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. You will notice the anxiety decrease and the solution begin to take shape in your life. The method is simple. Leave the burden with your inner mind. Instead of going to bed reviewing the problem, remember the law of the mind. Do your part. State the request. Imagine the result already achieved. Affirm the perfect action of the subconscious and release the matter. If during sleep you receive an image, a sense of relief, or a meaningful phrase, give thanks. If you remember nothing, do not worry. The deep mind continues to work in silence, bringing the solution through expected or unexpected paths. Consider the case of a young man with nocturnal phobia. Since childhood, he feared darkness and nighttime noises. For years, he clung to these fears without relief. When he learned the technique of handing over his burden before sleep, everything began to change. Each night before bed, he affirmed, "My subconscious mind guides me with wisdom. I rest in peace and security, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." Within weeks, he dreamed of walking confidently through a lit forest, accompanied by a calming presence. Upon waking, his fear had significantly decreased. He persisted in the exercise, and eventually the phobia disappeared. It was not the dream itself that performed the miracle, but the constant faith and willingness to release fear and hand the matter to inner intelligence. You can adapt this method to any area of your life. If facing a health issue, repeat before bed, "My subconscious mind accepts and manifests perfect health. My entire body responds to divine order, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." If it is a financial matter, declare, "I leave my finances in the hands of infinite intelligence. Abundance flows to me in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." If you seek harmony in relationships, affirm, "Divine peace governs my relationships. Everything resolves in love and understanding, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." Do not cling to the how or when, simply release the burden and trust. Keep it simple. When preparing your nighttime prayer or request, you do not need excessive detail. Summarize your case in a clear sentence followed by your faith formula. For example, "What is the best solution for this conflict at my work? My subconscious mind shows me the perfect answer, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." This is all the template you need. The essential element is trust, not the number of words. Upon waking, remain silent for a few moments. If any idea, image, or emotion persists, give thanks. If nothing is remembered, maintain your gratitude. The subconscious continues to act, and the solution always arrives at the right moment through expected or unexpected paths. This is how the law of the mind works. At night, you hand over the burden, affirm the good, and rest in faith. The subconscious responds by showing the image, idea, or perfect opportunity. Healing and solutions manifest in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Thus it is, and thus it shall be. Chapter 8. Precognitive Dreams and Warning Dreams. At night, when the conscious mind withdraws and deep intelligence takes the helm, the creative power of the subconscious can anticipate, alert, prevent, and guide. It is no coincidence that throughout the centuries, men and women have received warnings, guidance, and even revelations about the future in the silent workshop of dreams. However, it is essential to remember a fundamental truth. The subconscious never communicates to instill fear or enslave your mind with anxiety. Its purpose is always to preserve, guide, protect, and lead in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. The most common mistake of beginners is confusing fear disguised as warning with the genuine inner voice. The mind, especially when it has cultivated habits of anxiety or worry, can project its own fears onto the nightly screen, producing disturbing dreams of falls, losses, accidents, or dangers. Genuine guidance, however, is recognized by the sense of peace and clarity it leaves. The subconscious, when alerting, never harms or paralyzes. Its warning is received with a calm impulse, a quiet recognition that something requires attention. By contrast, fear disguised as warning, fantasy born from daytime tension, manifests as agitation, disorder, confusion, or a feeling of helplessness. Here, discernment and faith are required. The law of the mind never confuses or threatens. God is not a God of confusion but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. The first act of prudence upon encountering any disturbing dream is to affirm the higher truth. I affirm divine peace and harmony. If there is a warning, it will be confirmed in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. This affirmation is not just a defense, it is the key to filtering every image, separating fear from genuine warning. Those who repeat this decree install a protective shield in their subconscious, where only what builds, guides, and preserves the good remains. If the message is for you, it will return with clarity. If it is mere residual fear, it will dissolve without leaving a trace. The essential difference between an authentic premonition and a fear-born dream lies in the inner tone that remains upon waking. Genuine warning, even if showing a difficulty, never leaves anxiety. It leaves certainty that you can act, that a path exists, and that you have decision-making power. Disguised fear leaves unease and unrest. Real warnings prepare, fear only disturbs. The subconscious never uses terror as a teaching method. Its voice, when alerting, always leads to peace, prudent action, and protection under grace. If one night you experience a vivid dream, an image of danger, or a repeated scene that impresses you, do not rush to fear or act. Maintain inner silence and declare, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." Allow the emotion to settle and observe your mood. If peace establishes itself, if you feel clarity and decision, accept the warning and act with serenity. If confusion persists, reaffirm the decree, release the unease, and trust that everything will resolve according to the law, through expected or unexpected paths. Over the years, I have witnessed countless testimonies of people guided or protected by calm, nocturnal warnings. One case I often recall is that of a mother who dreamed several nights that her child was playing near the street while a car approached dangerously. Upon waking, she felt not fear, but a quiet alertness, a soft yet firm conviction. Without anguish, she spoke to her child and explained the necessary caution. Days later, the child stopped in time before an unforeseen vehicle. The mother realized that the subconscious had shown her the scene not to alarm her, but to equip her with the right instinct, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. And others, upon receiving images of danger, have made prudent decisions, changing a route, delaying a trip, checking a household appliance, or avoiding a risky transaction. Warnings are always confirmed in peace, without obsession or fear. When the subconscious guides, it does so calmly, with the serene authority of one who knows that protection is natural and the solution is already in motion. When you go to bed, you will have no fear and your sleep will be pleasant. Proverbs 3:24. This promise is fulfilled for all who plant faith and security before sleep. Never confuse the emotional discharge of a tense day with spiritual warning. If a dream unsettles you but leaves no peace, stand firm in truth and repeat, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." The subconscious is loyal, and if there is a message for you, it will present it again through different channels until you recognize it with serenity. Fear dissolves when ignored. True warnings reaffirm themselves with love until you act in peace. Discernment is a natural gift of the soul. Learn to trust the tone of your heart more than the visual scene. If the warning comes with the correct impulse, a simple action, or clear inner advice, follow it. If only anxiety remains, release it and affirm, "I affirm divine peace and harmony." If there is a warning, it will be confirmed in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. The law of the mind never leaves without answer those who trust and repeat the truth. Do not be trapped by superstitions or the habit of seeing omens in every detail. The subconscious is precise, its language economical. If protection is necessary, the warning arrives in time and with sufficient force, for you to recognize it without doubt or anguish. Those who live in inner peace rarely need loud signals. Guidance flows gently, like a thought that settles, an intuition that insists, an inner voice that prepares the mind and arranges circumstances in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Always remember that the greatest protection is affirming the good before sleep. The decree is your shield. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. This formula directs mental energy toward harmony and solution. The deep mind, obedient to the dominant impression, filters out what is unhelpful and amplifies useful signals, delivering them through dreams, impulses, encounters, and unexpected opportunities. If one night, after an intense dream, your mood remains agitated, do not dwell on the negative emotion. Immediately affirm, I affirm divine peace and harmony. If there is a warning, it is confirmed in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Rest in the certainty that nothing can harm you when your mind is aligned with the higher law. If the guidance is true, clarity will increase over the days. If the dream was only disguised fear, it will fade without leaving a trace. Peace is the sure sign of inner protection. Years of experience and testimonies show that the subconscious is your best guardian. When real danger, necessary change, or an opportunity requiring attention exists, the warning always arrives wrapped in peace, precision, and the certainty that you have the power to act. If the image returns repeatedly, if the emotion is constant and calm, do not hesitate. Act with prudence and gratitude. If the warning is for you, everything will align for your good. If unease persists, repeat the decree, release the matter, and allow the law of the mind to arrange the means by expected or unexpected paths. Fear is never guidance. Only peace and inner clarity are the voice of the subconscious, aligned with universal wisdom. Authentic warning always preserves integrity and never steals serenity. Protection comes as inner counsel, as a sense of relief following an attitude change, as a repeated testimony in the heart, not as emotional storm or threat. In practice, whenever you receive a strong image or a dream that seems like a warning, do not consult fear or chase interpretations from others. Declare, my subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. If peace establishes itself, receive the guidance. If not, remain in faith and allow the subconscious to do its work. Useful revelation will return, and protection will be activated through natural and simple means. Nothing in the mind's universe occurs to alarm or disturb you. The subconscious always works in your favor, selecting, warning, guiding in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Make affirmation your shield, faith your foundation, and there will be no confusion or fear that remains. Live in the security of guidance, rest in the certainty of protection, give thanks for each message, release anxiety, and allow life to be ordered by the law through expected or unexpected paths. Remember the promise of Scripture. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. Make it yours every night. Affirm the truth before sleeping and live under the care of the subconscious mind, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Thus it is, and thus it shall be. Chapter 9. The Creative Dream. Visualizing to create reality. Each night as you prepare for sleep, the most powerful creative workshop you can imagine opens before you. The subconscious mind, obedient and silent, accepts as law the images you impress upon it at the threshold of sleep. This is the secret that great masters have taught throughout the ages. You plant an image before sleeping and harvest its fruit in daily experience. The law of the mind never fails. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Visualization is not a game of fantasy. It is the art of impressing your inner mind with the image of what you wish to see realized, trusting that the form, timing, and details belong to the wisdom of the subconscious. When you imprint the fulfilled image with serenity and gratitude, you open the door for divine order to manifest through expected or unexpected paths. Creative visualization is the ultimate tool for anyone who wishes to transform their life. The key is simplicity. No complex techniques or long hours of concentration are required. Spend just a few minutes before sleep when the mind is relaxed and the body surrenders to rest. At that moment, quiet your thoughts, breathe gently, and choose a clear image of what you desire. Do not focus on the problem or difficulty. Direct all your attention to the solution already fulfilled, the perfect result. If you seek health, visualize yourself full of energy, moving freely and joyfully. If you desire prosperity, imagine your needs met, your table abundant, your affairs flowing in order. If you long for harmony in your relationships, mentally see gestures, words, and encounters filled with understanding and love. At first, it may seem like a simple exercise of imagination, but the subconscious does not distinguish between reality and vividly imagined images. What you accept as true before sleeping, the deep mind develops silently, using all necessary means to bring it into your experience. That is why I repeat, my subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Visualization is strengthened when accompanied by genuine emotion. If you can feel gratitude, joy, or relief, as if the image is already real, the impression is deeper and the result more certain. No effort or tension is necessary. Simply remain serene, knowing the law of the mind acts faithfully. Keep it simple, natural, and pleasant. Some prefer to accompany the image with a brief affirmation, "All is well, divine order now manifest in my life." Others simply immerse themselves in the scene, letting the mind develop it in its own way, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. I have seen men and women transform their world by practicing visualization before sleep. An artist I advised wished to create an original work, but felt his mind empty of ideas. I recommended that each night he visualize his studio filled with light and color, seeing himself working with enthusiasm and witnessing his completed work, admired and recognized. He did this with faith, letting go of worry and effort. Within a few days, he began dreaming of scenes, shapes, and colors he had never imagined while awake. Upon waking, ideas flowed effortlessly. Thus, one of his most important creations was born. He realized that the subconscious works best when given a clear image and allowed to act without anxiety. The result exceeded expectations, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. You can apply this method in any area of your life. If you have a goal, a legitimate desire, or a change you wish to see manifested, prepare your night by planting the fulfilled image. Do it simply and consistently. Each night before sleep, lie calmly and visualize, even for a few minutes, the good already realized. Do not argue with the mind. Do not dwell on obstacles. Bring all your attention to the desired image and softly affirm, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way." It is unnecessary to see all the details. The subconscious takes care of the how and when. Your part is to plant the seed, give thanks in advance, and release the image in faith. If accompanied by joy or calm, you know you have done the work well. If doubts arise, return to your primary decree and release concern. The inner mind never forgets a clear and positive order. Make visualization a simple and enjoyable habit. Do not turn it into a forced duty. Let it be a delight of the soul. Some imagine a river of gold flowing toward them. Others see an open door, a clear path, a healthy body, a peaceful home. The image does not matter as long as it inspires certainty and gratitude. If the emotion is genuine, the impression is deep, and the subconscious will respond, bringing the solution through expected or unexpected paths. The nightly routine of constructive imagination is simple. Turn off the light, set aside all worry, choose an image of good already realized, immerse yourself in it with serenity, give thanks, and sleep. Upon waking, if you feel peace, confidence, or joy, that is the sign that the law is at work. Do not replay the image or question the outcome. Live your day with serene expectation. The subconscious will guide you, inspire you, and open doors at the right moment in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. If one night your mind is distracted or negative thoughts arise, do not struggle. Redirect your attention to the fulfilled solution image. Repeat your main decree and rest. Consistency is more important than effort. Those who practice this method night after night discover that reality begins to align. Ideas come, health improves, relationships harmonize, and prosperity flows through expected or unexpected paths. Do not underestimate the power of the mental image. Everything that exists was first in some mind. What you visualize with faith before sleep becomes an internal cause and eventually manifests in your experience. The subconscious mind, docile and powerful, neither argues, analyzes, nor delays the good. It only needs to receive the order and the emotion to set everything in motion. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Give thanks each night for the opportunity to create your inner world. Make your sleep the workshop where health, success, harmony, and joy are sown. Visualize with confidence, affirm your decree, release the outcome, and allow divine order to do the rest. The perfect answer always manifests in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Thus it is, and thus it shall be. Chapter 10. Forgiveness and Mental Cleansing. During sleep each night, when you close your eyes and the external world fades, you face the greatest opportunity of your inner life, the chance to cleanse your mind and heart, releasing everything that no longer serves you, healing old wounds, and restoring harmony deep within your being. Sleep is much more than mere physical rest. It is a natural pharmacy where the infinite intelligence of your subconscious operates to restore your health, renew your emotions, and correct what the conscious mind alone has not been able to transform. The subconscious mind is your greatest ally in the process of purification. During the day, your thoughts and emotions are caught up in external events, encounters, words, and memories. But when night comes and sleep takes over, the conscious mind releases control, and the subconscious enters into action, gathering everything sown during wakefulness. This is where forgiveness reveals its true power. When you decide to release resentments, guilt, or grievances before sleeping, you are giving your inner mind the order to cleanse and heal in perfect order, under grace and in a perfect way. Never underestimate the weight that unforgiven resentments and offenses carry over your body and soul. Lack of forgiveness is like a silent poison accumulating in the subconscious, obstructing the free flow of health, prosperity, and joy. Those who go to bed with minds full of anger, criticism, or bitterness awaken tired, restless, and without energy to face the new day. The law of the mind is clear. What you release before sleep, the subconscious dissolves and transmutes. What you hold on to becomes an obstacle and repeated suffering. The practice of forgiveness is simple but powerful. Make it your nightly habit without exception. As you lie down to sleep, briefly review your day. If you discover any shadow of resentment, anger, or discomfort towards someone, consciously decide in that moment to release that weight. You do not need to feel love or sympathy, just the conscious decision to forgive and let go. Silently or aloud, declare with full intention, I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. This simple and direct affirmation contains the key to freedom and inner cleansing. Do not seek arguments or dwell on the reasons for the offense. Do not linger on the memory of the grievance. Simply affirm forgiveness, release the burden, and trust that your subconscious will do the work during sleep. If memories of a person, event, or hurtful word arise, repeat, I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them, and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. Feel, even for a few seconds, the lightness of having dropped an old weight. If it is difficult, imagine a light surrounding the situation, dissolving tension, illuminating your mind and heart. Do not struggle with negative emotion. Simply affirm the decree and release the image. Your subconscious receives the order and begins the cleansing in silence, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. I have witnessed countless transformations in people who adopted this practice. A woman came to me overwhelmed by a long-standing feud with her sister. She had carried resentment for years and, despite her efforts, could not find peace. I instructed her to repeat the forgiveness decree each night before sleep. At first she felt resistance, but night after night, with faith and persistence, she continued. In time she began to dream of sharing joyful moments with her sister, laughing together and understanding one another. Upon waking, she felt a new, previously unknown peace and lightness. Eventually she called her sister, and reconciliation occurred naturally, simply, without difficult words or forced explanations. This is the power of the subconscious when given a command of cleansing and release. Forgiveness sown before sleep germinates and flourishes in the invisible workshop of dreams, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Do not expect instant miracles or spectacular signs. Mental and emotional cleansing is often a gradual process, a silent transformation observed only through its fruits: a calmer mind, firmer health, smoother relationships, peaceful thoughts, and unexpected solutions. If resentment returns some night, do not be discouraged. Return to your decree with conviction. I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. Consistency is more powerful than fleeting emotion. What you repeat with faith and perseverance becomes established in the subconscious as law. Always remember, the first beneficiary of forgiveness is you. Releasing others is truly an act of releasing yourself. When you forgive, you cut the invisible tie that binds you to pain and allow vital energy to flow again, restoring health, creativity, and the joy of living. The subconscious responds immediately to the order of peace and cleansing. If you sow forgiveness, you will reap well-being through expected or unexpected paths. You do not need to understand how inner healing occurs. Trust the deep wisdom that knows and restores all. Do your part. Repeat the decree before sleep, release the matter, and rest. If upon waking you feel peace, gratitude, or relief, recognize that the law has done its work. If any negative emotion persists, repeat your affirmation and continue the process. Just as a gardener does not dig up the seed every day, do not question how or when the cleansing will arrive. Plant your word, release concern, and allow the subconscious to work in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Nightly forgiveness is the most effective medicine to heal relationships, restore health, and attract prosperity. Many physical and emotional ailments have their roots in hidden resentments, in old wounds that have not dissolved. When the subconscious receives the command of forgiveness, it begins to release those knots, repair what was damaged, and restore the natural flow of good. Do it simply, without drama or guilt. Repeat the canonical decree: I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. And if you wish, add, my subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Do not worry if at first the mind resists or if forgiveness seems impossible. Persist calmly. Trust the process. Rest in the certainty that cleansing is already occurring deep within. If one night you do not feel peace, deliver the matter once more, repeat your decree, and sleep. The subconscious never forgets a clear and positive order. The response sometimes comes through dreams, sometimes as a feeling of relief, sometimes as an unexpected opportunity for reconciliation or solution. Make mental cleansing your daily habit. Before sleep, review your heart. If you find any shadow, anger, or guilt, do not dwell on the emotion. Declare with faith, I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. Repeat as many times as necessary until peace is established. The subconscious obeys. Cleansing occurs, and perfect order manifests under grace in a perfect way. Always remember, each dream is an opportunity to renew your inner life. If you ever dream of reconciliation, joy, or relief, give thanks and recognize that the mind has obeyed your decree. If dreams are neutral or you remember nothing, trust equally. The work is happening deep within. Give thanks each morning for the opportunity to begin anew with a free heart and a clean mind. Forgiveness is the great liberator. No burden can resist the power of a mind that has decided to let go and bless. Do it for yourself, for your health, your peace, and your prosperity. Before sleep, affirm once more, I forgive completely and freely all those I need to forgive. I release them and I release myself. I wish them health, peace, and prosperity. I am at peace. All is well. And surrender your rest to infinite intelligence, knowing, my subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Thus it is, and thus it shall be. Chapter 11. Morning Review. The Art of Listening to the Subconscious. Each morning upon opening your eyes, you are presented with a golden moment, a silent threshold in which the external world has not yet claimed your attention and the voice of your subconscious mind can be heard clearly. It is in those first minutes, before the bustle and obligations of the day assault your awareness, that the deep wisdom cultivated during the night seeks to express itself in simple and direct ways. A serene emotion, a luminous word, an unexpected idea, or simply an inexplicable sense of peace. This is the most fertile time to listen to your inner message, gather the harvest sown the night before, and affirm the guidance, solution, inspiration, and protection that the law of the mind offers in perfect order, under grace and in a perfect way. The most common mistake of those seeking to interpret dreams is rushing to analyze every image, searching for hidden symbols, or forcing meanings that the conscious mind cannot comprehend. True interpretation is simple. The essential message is recognized by the predominant state upon waking. If you feel trust, relief, gratitude, notice new clarity, or sense a correct impulse, that is the signal that your subconscious has done its work during sleep and is delivering its message in the best possible way. Interpretation is not the task of logic, but of inner sensitivity, attentive and humble listening. Your first question should always be, what do I feel? Beyond words, what matters is the dominant impression, the echo left in your mind, the silent testimony of the guidance received. Stay in bed a few minutes after waking. Do not rush to check your phone. Do not allow concerns about the day's tasks to invade your mind too early. Close your eyes, breathe calmly, and let the memory of the dream or the impression from the night surface. It may be a clear image, a phrase, a color, the memory of a face, or often a diffuse and deep emotion. Do not force interpretation. Do not try to understand everything immediately. The important thing is to capture the essence, the core of the message. Ask yourself quietly, what do I truly feel right now? What is the main impression that accompanies me upon waking? The subconscious responds to honest, calm questioning, not to anxious analysis or compulsive searching for signs. Make this exercise a natural habit. Do not impose rigid rules or expect spectacular results each day. Some mornings you may recall a complete dream, other times only an emotion, a word or a breath of peace. It does not matter. Consistency and faith in the law of the mind produce long-term results. The subconscious, noticing that you listen to its messages, reinforces communication and delivers guidance more clearly and simply, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. If you wish, you can express in a single sentence what you recognize upon waking. There is no need to write a long account or elaborate a dream journal. A single line summarizing the dominant impression suffices. Today I feel confident, accompanied by peace. A new idea inspires me. I feel relief. I see clarity on my path. The problem has dissolved. You may speak it softly or jot it in a small notebook by your bed. Expressing the impression fixes the message in your conscious mind and allows the law of the mind to continue working throughout the day. I have observed that those who adopt this simple habit of morning review experience remarkable changes in their daily life. A young woman with anxiety and doubt began practicing self-inquiry every morning. Initially, she could only write restlessness or confusion. She did not become discouraged. She continued repeating the canonical decree each night. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Gradually, her state upon waking began to change. I feel serenity. I am grateful. Today, I perceive a solution. She discovered that even when dreams were dark or unclear, the dominant emotion was increasingly positive. Her external life became more orderly, relationships improved, and her health strengthened. The subconscious, when acknowledged, responds generously and effectively. Do not worry if one morning the message seems negative or confusing. The subconscious also uses dreams to cleanse and release tension, just as the body eliminates toxins during the night. If the dominant impression is unease, pain, or discomfort, do not reject or dramatize it. Receive the emotion, appreciate it as a sign of cleansing, and repeat your decree. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Do not struggle against the sensation. Accept it, release it, and continue your day in peace. The law of the mind works in your favor even when you do not understand the process. The perfect answer will manifest in its time through expected or unexpected paths. The key to morning review is simple, honest self-inquiry. Ask yourself what you truly feel. Do not judge or disguise it. Be sincere with yourself. If the impression is positive, give thanks and affirm. Good manifests in my life. If neutral or negative, do not fear. Declare your principal decree and allow the subconscious to continue working. In doing so, you cultivate an attitude of faith, openness, and gratitude toward inner guidance. The subconscious, when listened to and respected, becomes your best ally, faithful counselor, and silent protector. You may, if you wish, keep a weekly record of your morning impressions. Do not turn it into a burdensome obligation or rigid protocol. Use a simple notebook or loose sheet. Each morning upon waking, write a line with the predominant emotion, word, image, or sensation. At the end of the week, review what you have written calmly. Observe patterns, repetitions, or changes in state. Often you will see the subconscious insist on a message, idea, warning, or solution until you recognize and accept it in your daily life, in perfect order, under grace and in a perfect way. A businessman seeking direction in a complex matter adopted this morning review method. Initially, he wrote only worries and doubts, but after a few days began writing, "I feel confident. I perceive an opportunity. I see the path clear." He discovered that the subconscious had already given him the answer before his conscious mind could explain it. The solution arrived as a correct impulse during the day, a conversation, an unexpected opportunity he had not noticed before. This is how the law works. The subconscious guides, inspires, and protects you through expected or unexpected paths. Do not cling to forms or symbols. Sometimes dreams bring grand images. Other times, they leave only a sense of relief or a simple phrase. What matters is the attitude of listening, the willingness to receive, and gratitude for guidance. Make morning review an act of openness and trust. Understanding everything is unnecessary. Be attentive, grateful, and ready to act when the answer becomes evident. If one morning the message seems negative or troubling, do not be discouraged or fall into doubt. Always remember your canonical decree. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. This affirmation restores your alignment with the law of the mind, reaffirms confidence, and reestablishes inner peace. The subconscious continues working for your benefit, even if you do not notice immediately. The perfect answer will reveal itself at the right moment. Over the years, I have received hundreds of testimonies from people who, practicing morning review, have transformed their entire lives. A mother concerned for her sick child began paying attention to the predominant emotion upon waking. Whenever she felt peace and gratitude, the day unfolded harmoniously and her child improved. When she felt unease, she repeated her decree and trusted. Over time, health was restored and peace became permanent in her home. This is how the law operates, always in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Never forget, the subconscious is your best guide, your silent friend, your constant protector. The key lies in consistency, faith, and gratitude. Each morning upon waking, take a few minutes to listen to your inner voice, recognize the dominant emotion, and affirm the truth. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect answer. Everything resolves in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Do it simply, do it with faith, do it every day. Morning review is the art of listening, trusting, and giving thanks. Make this exercise a bridge between the invisible workshop of sleep and the visible reality of your daily life. You will discover that guidance, inspiration, and solutions are always available, waiting to be recognized and applied in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfect way. Thus it is, and thus it shall be. Chapter 12. Acting with Prudence, from Dream to Practical Life. True wisdom does not consist merely in dreaming, but in translating the messages of the subconscious into concrete, sensible actions guided by faith. The dream is the hidden workshop of your mind, where solutions, inspiration, and guidance take shape silently. Yet, all inner guidance must be tested in daily life before it becomes action. Here lies the art of prudence. Do not rush. Do not act driven solely by emotion or immediate enthusiasm, But wait for confirmation and apply the received counsel wisely, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. Many wonder, how can we distinguish when a dream calls for action and when it is merely a passing impression? The answer is simple and reliable. All truth is confirmed in daily life. The subconscious can show you a path, a warning, or a solution in dreams, but it is the external reality, the experiences of each day, that validates the message. Never make important decisions solely based on the impact of a dream. Allow emotion to settle. Let the conscious mind process the information and let life itself provide the confirmation. This way you act wisely, avoid mistakes, and allow good to manifest naturally. I have known people who, after receiving guidance or visions in dreams, felt compelled to act immediately, only to discover later that the situation was not as it appeared. Others waited, observed, asked for confirmation, and when the sign repeated itself or the opportunity clearly presented itself, they acted with faith and security, harvesting harmonious results. The key lies in patience and a willingness to be guided, not pushed by life. The mental law does not contradict itself. What is for your good confirms itself repeatedly through expected or unexpected paths, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. Imagine, for example, a woman who dreamed of a promising job offer. Upon waking, she felt enthusiastic and wanted to accept immediately. However, she remembered the advice to act with prudence. She chose to wait, observe the facts, and ask her subconscious mind for a clear sign during the day. She repeated her canonical decree. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect solution. Everything is arranged in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. A few hours later, she received an unexpected call. The offer required an immediate move under conditions she did not desire. She realized the dream had been only an invitation to consider change, but the external confirmation showed it was not yet the right time. She waited with faith, and soon after, an even better proposal appeared, meeting all her desired conditions. This is how the subconscious guides without rush, always confirming truth through external facts in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. Advice received in dreams becomes gold when applied sensibly. Do not ignore inner guidance, but do not rush either. Record the message, reflect calmly, seek confirmation, and observe how life responds. The subconscious does not need urgency. It operates in cycles, organizes circumstances, and prepares paths. If the sign is real, it will return to you through different means. A word from someone close, an unexpected event, a recurring opportunity, a feeling of peace that grows over days. The most common mistake is acting impulsively, not allowing the mental law to complete its work. Remember the maxim: all truth confirms itself during the day. If the guidance received in dreams is genuine, external experience will validate it. If it does not confirm, release the matter, reaffirm your faith, and wait for the next guidance. The subconscious never fails, but your part is to act with faith, patience, and prudence. Just as a farmer does not harvest prematurely, neither should you force the results. True faith is patient. It knows how to wait for the right moment and trust that good will manifest in its perfect cycle. Prudence is not distrust. It is an expression of mature faith. Those who live according to the mental law know that every dream, every inner impulse is valuable, but it requires the filter of daily life before becoming action. If your subconscious suggests a decision, observe how it resonates within you throughout the day. If peace increases, if external signs align, if the opportunity arises effortlessly, then act with confidence. If obstacles, doubts, or confusion appear, wait and reaffirm your decree. My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect solution. Everything is arranged in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. The entire universe cooperates with the patient soul. Never fear missing a true opportunity by waiting for confirmation. What is meant for you remains, repeats, confirms in unexpected ways, and arrives when all is ready. The subconscious does not err, but faith without patience can rush timing and cause complications. Make prudence your companion, self-inquiry your guide, and faith your constant strength. Just as a navigator consults a compass before taking a new course, so too must you consult your inner peace and external confirmation before acting. The dream is the seed. Daily life is the field where the seed germinates and bears fruit. There is no rush in divine law. What is meant for your good arrives in its time, in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way. Over the years, I've observed that those who act impulsively, driven only by the emotion of a dream, often return to old patterns and regret their haste. In contrast, those who listen to the message, express gratitude, seek confirmation, and let life validate it, experience a sequence of favorable events. Opportunities open effortlessly, providential encounters occur, and unexpected solutions arise. This is how faith and patience become guided action, producing tangible results and constant blessings. Make your life an expression of this wisdom. Dream with clarity, listen attentively, wait for confirmation, and act with prudence. Faith without action stagnates, action without faith disperses. But guided, patient, and sensible faith produces lasting fruits through expected or unexpected paths. Close each night with your decree, "My subconscious mind now accepts the perfect solution. Everything is arranged in perfect order, under grace, and in a perfectly harmonious way." Upon waking, listen to the inner impression, observe the facts, and when the truth is confirmed, act without fear or hesitation. This honors the power of your mind, the wisdom of the subconscious, and the perfect order of the universe. Practical life is the stage where dreams find their meaning. Do not remain in the world of ideas. Bring inspiration into action with the confidence and patience of one who knows that mental law never fails. What is meant for you, no one can take away. What is not meant will dissolve effortlessly. Your only task is to maintain faith, calmness, openness, and readiness to act when truth is confirmed during the day. Let your last thought each night be the sowing of the desired image, the decree of trust, and serene surrender to the subconscious. Let your first act each morning be to listen to the impression received, give thanks for guidance, and seek confirmation. And let your life, day by day, be the joyful and prudent manifestation of dreams sown at night and confirmed in reality. So it is, and so it shall be.